I'm Jackie, on the road again with 360 Alberta. And it doesn't matter the size of the community, from hamlets to large cities, you will find that businesses, associations and municipalities themselves have brought color and life to their communities by commissioning murals on the sides of buildings. Whether it's Lacomb's famous murals or the hamlet of Wabbamum, you will find some great opportunities for Instagrammable moments. Often the murals will bring color and life to the community, and other times they depict the historical story of the area, as is the case in Josephburg. Sharon, the hamlet of Josephburg has 10 panels on the Moyer Rec Center. Who commissioned them and why were they commissioned?
So, Diane Keene, Althea Nondorf, and Diane Smith are three women with tremendous pride in this community. So they wanted to just realize their dream of visually showcasing the development of this region. They worked together with Strathcona County Parks and Recreation, and the theme was the evolution of community, commerce, and agriculture in Josephburg, and it all began in 2003. In the first panel, you need to think 1875, Aspen Parkland, home only to Cree and Blackfoot, no settlers, no railroad, just a Northwest Mounted Police post a few miles away. Advertisements are going on in Europe and in the eastern part of Canada to attract interest in land this far west, this land of opportunity. In the second panel, we're looking at the German-speaking immigrants from the Austro-Hungarian Empire. They were enticed by the whole notion of free land. So they set sail for Halifax, made the journey by rail to southern Alberta, endured 2 dreadful years of dismal crop failures, and finally sent scouts further north to search out better conditions. So that's who you see in this picture. In panel 3, we see that growing settlements have birthed the need for roads and churches and little one-room schools, and children from neighboring communities are meeting together at events like track meets, and we look at the different halls. One of them is Mansfield School, and that is the one that was later moved here to become the community hall in Josephburg. For over 100 years, this community was famous for its chicken supper, and it even made the Canadian Guinness record for the most patrons ever served at a fowl supper. And this event, of course, was held outdoors at first, so that's what you see in the mural. And of course, you see all of the pies that the locals always contributed to this wonderful dinner. In panel 5, we see the rainbow, which is the symbol of hope, which was always a virtue held very dear from the early days of the settlers on into all the progress that was brought by power and the construction of elevators. And of course, those elevators were so important to alleviate the long haul of grain to market. In the 6th panel, we think of community spirit, which really brought folks together during special times like harvest and weddings. And it's just fun to see the little picture of the people eating beside the tractor, which is still a common sight during days of harvest. In panel 7, we look at the elevators. The agents needed homes, more homes followed, and thus began the little hamlet of Josephburg. And over the years, believe it or not, there was a blacksmith shop, gas station, grocery store, pool hall, barber shop, coffee shop, hardware store, case dealership, service station, and fire hall. In panel 8, tribute is paid to arts and culture in the community. So we see scenes of the Elk Island Art Club, the Josephburg Presents concert series, which still sells out after 44 years, with dinner concerts 6 times a year. We see the Josephburg Men's Chorus and some old-fashioned quilting. In panel 9, we see the old curling rink and some outdoor skating rinks, which have disappeared because the Moyer Rec Center brought artificial ice. And that building now also has a hall that serves for occasions like weddings and Josephburg Presents. It also now, not in the mural, but it hosts indoor pickleball in the wintertime. And just have to get a plug in here for the new outdoor pickleball courts that are right beside the farm-themed playground just beside the Moyer Rec Center. In the last panel, we're looking at the world-scale petrochemical industries that have generously contributed to our community. We're also looking at the Fort Saskatchewan 4-H Beef Club, now 77 years old, their Achievement Day in May, which is also preceded by the Josephburg Ag Society's big event, the Jazz Country Classic. And this is really an occasion where we appreciate that agriculture is going to be an ongoing industry in our community. Also, we see the Josephburg Riding Club. It's now 60 years old, and it supports the equestrian community at the Gymkhana grounds nearby. When the murals were going to be taken down because they were falling apart, we encouraged Strathcona County to make sure that they stayed there, so we would have a reminder of all the contributions that have come before us. If you want more information and lots of detail on what I've just told you, you can go to the website of the Josephburg Agricultural Society, easy to Google, and find the In the Community tab, and then you can choose Moyer Recreation Center murals.
I'm Jackie with 360 Alberta, and I've been touring the province, enjoying the many murals that communities have spent the time and energy to create. Why don't you put your murals on the comments and share them with the rest of 360's world?